Hello everyone, I'm OP Tank, bringing you another Neverwinter video, and today we're going to be going over a beginner's guide to Neverwinter, right up to level 70. I understand that when a lot of people start in a new game, it's a bit intimidating, they don't know all the mechanics, and while the game does do a decent job at describing a lot of what's going on and how to do things, sometimes a guide can come in handy. So we will be covering a bunch of different things, from the character's creation to the heads-up display that you'll be seeing the entire time, the map of Protector's Enclave where everything's located, how to do quests, the campaigns, gears, stuff like that. We'll be covering over that to the best of my knowledge. As per usual, there will be timestamps in the description of the video, so you can jump ahead to different parts depending on what you wish to see. So that being said, let's get straight into this and start off with a character creation. So you create your account, you download the game, you enter it, and now you have to create a new character. So we will just click on new character. Now you'll have a cutscene here which we're going to skip by just hitting escape. And we end up at the very first part of our character creation. Here, you have a choice selecting between male and female. Either one of these doesn't matter. It's all just visual effects. Has no bonuses, no cons. Just you get to choose whichever gender you'd like to play as. Now, as for races, you have several to choose from. I won't go into detail over them, as you can just simply click on them and read the racial abilities that come with the particular class, and allows you to pick whichever class you would like to play. Every class that is here can play, or sorry, any race that is here can play any class in the game, and we'll be picking our class next. Now there's certain ones, such as Dragonborn, Moon Elf, and the Renegade, that require a Zen purchase. So you have to buy these particular packs on the Zen market in-game or from ARC's website to have access to them. The Metallic Ancestry Dragonborn is one that actually drops out of a lockbox. So you'd either have to use enchanted keys in order to open up lockboxes, or hopefully somebody will put it up on the auction house, in which case you'll have to spend a significant portion of in-game currency in order to buy it. With that being said, you have many options available to you, and again, any race can play any class. But some races are better for certain classes for the ability scores and the racial abilities that come with it. So you got your human, your half-orc, your wood elf, sun elf, dwarf, halfling, half-elf, tiefling, and drow. That would be immediately available to you. So you can just pick any of these, and then once you pick your gender and your race, just hit continue, and we'll be in the class selection. So here you have your choice between 8 different classes. You have the Trickster Rogue, which uses daggers and is a melee class, high damage. You have Devoted Cleric, which is a range class healer, plays a support role. You have the Control Wizard, which is a range class controller, controls battlefield mainly for support, adds buffs, debuffs, stuff like that. Hunter Ranger is a bit of a unique class, as they can switch between ranged and melee. They have both DPS and support capabilities. Scourge Warlock is a ranged DPS / support class. Oathbound Paladin is your melee tank or melee healer. One of the best healers in the game is the Oathbound Paladin currently. Great Weapon Fighter, melee, high DPS. And Guardian Fighter can be melee, high DPS, or melee tank. So for this, I'm just going to quickly pick the Oathbound Paladin, because I know it inside and out. Next is your ability scores. Depending on which race you pick will determine your racial ability bonus. Now, as a human, I get +2 to whatever I choose. As other classes will state, they'll give +2 to, say, Dex, and then either a +2 to Con or a +2 to Wisdom. At that point, you'll only have two options available to you, one saying +2 Dex and +2 Con, and the other one saying +2 Dex and +2 Wisdom. Now, as an Oathbound Paladin, my primary ability is Constitution, and then my secondaries are Charisma and Wisdom. Now, as I play the Protection build going tank-wise, I will go with Constitution and Charisma. If you're going for the Healadin build, which is Devotion, you would put it into Wisdom instead of Charisma. And then same goes for every class. Every class that you end up picking will have different requirements for your primary ability and your secondaries. I strongly recommend that you have a look online. There's YouTube videos out there. There's websites like MMOminds.com that have builds for different classes. I strongly recommend that you have a look at some of those to get an idea of what you would like to do. If not, well, just have fun. It's only a game. So I'm just going to roll this so it gets nice and high. I'd like to see a 19. That'll do. So after you're done with your ability scores, hit continue, and you will go to your appearance presets. So here, you have a bunch of appearance presets that you can select. That everything is already done for you. Or you can go to customize and adjust everything individually, from head, hair, eyes, everything. I'm just going to pick that one. This will have no bearing on gameplay or anything. This is all just aesthetics, just so you can customize the character to make them look how you wish. Background and deity. So here you get to choose your background for your character, so where they came from and stuff like that, and then your deity affiliation, so you can pray to whichever of these gods you decide to choose. Now, neither of these will have any effect on gameplay whatsoever, or give you any bonuses or anything. It's just straight cosmetics, basically. Adds a bit of the storyline to you. So you can pick anything you'd like. So I'm just going to pick that. And now we're on the final page, which is the overview page. So this is just going to go through everything that you've picked, from your characters, your race, your ability scores, the background, and the deity that you chose. You can opt to put in a particular biography for your character if you like. And then you have to add in a character name. Sure, we'll go with that one. And then once you're happy with the name and everything, all you hit is begin adventure. And then you will start with the tutorial. Now another cutscene will appear here. We're going to skip over it. And we are at the very beginning. So, regardless of class and race and anything like that, you will always start in the same spot right here. It's pretty simple. You're going to see this little shiny dotted line on the ground. That is going to lead you to your quest objective. And as you can see here, there is a question mark over this particular individual's head, Private Wilfred. That means they have a quest for us. So we'll just talk to him right quick. Now, you'll usually get only one particular way to answer throughout the game. However, sometimes they do give you multiple possibilities. They have no effect on gameplay or outcome or rewards or anything like that, so you can just select anything that you would like. Now this is done. It's giving us our new quest path, so we're just going to follow that.
Alright, so now we're going to cover over the heads-up display, or HUD. So this is basically what you're seeing right now. This is what you'll see throughout the entire time that you're playing. And we're going to cover over all the things. We're going to start in the top left corner, work our way across, down, and then back around. So up in the top corner, you're going to have your character's picture with your character name, your current level. Beside that, you're going to have your summoned companions. So if you have a companion currently summoned, this will be them. Below that, you're going to have all your buffs and debuffs. So anything in a green box around it is a buff. And if you have any debuffs currently on you, which is anything that's going to reduce your stats or anything like that, it will come up as red box. And it will go on top of the green ones that you'll see. If you're ever curious on what you currently have for buffs or debuffs on it, you can just scroll over and it will tell you exactly what you're currently getting. You also have other buffs that you can have. So you got like your glory boost, your rough AD boost, and then your active companion contributions from any of your companions that you currently have active, stuff like that. Next, we're going to cover over this top bar that everyone has. So the very first one is your character status. So there's a lot in this one, so bear with me. So we'll start with the very first up here, which is your loadouts. So loadouts are basically allowing you to have multiple characters using only one character. So what loadouts allow you to do is you can set up a particular loadout to be something in particular. So I have a couple of different ones. So I have my endgame tank build, I have my solo DPS build, I have a Healadin build. I also have another one that I haven't currently made yet. I'm waiting for the new mod to drop to make alterations. And what that does is it will change all your current gear that you have equipped. Any powers that you have equipped will change. Any feats will change. Boons will change. Companions, mounts, you name it. It will all change based on what you have for your loadout. And all you have to do is either go to Protector's Enclave to change it, or at any campfire. And all you have to do is click on it, and it would automatically switch. And a bunch of stuff will change. Some of my gear has changed. A bunch of my feats would have changed. A lot of my boons will have changed. My companions have changed, and my mounts would have changed as well. So those are your loadouts. Everyone starts off with 2 loadouts, and you can purchase more in the Zensor if you see fit to. The other thing you're going to see is your tabs. Each one of these will give you some different things. So you got your character page, you got history if you want to include your history. It gives you your origin, your deity, stuff like that. You can set a title. Your power page, which is all your powers. So your encounters, your at-wills, your dailies that you'll end up using. You have your feat page, which is all your feats that you'll be able to select as you progress all the way up to level 70. Your boon page, which has a significant amount of different things on them. So you get your guild stronghold, there's PvP, and then each of the campaigns that you'll work through allows you to pick feats to give bonuses to your character and make them more deadly or gives better buffs, stuff like that. Then you have your companion page, where you can have up to 5 companions to give you buffs, and 1 summon companion to fight alongside you. And then you have your mount page. This has 2 different tabs. This one allows you to select a combat power, an equip power, and increase the movement speed of them depending on their rarity. And here you can add in a whole bunch of different mounts with the mount insignias to give yourself bonuses. I'll cover that in more detail shortly. So starting on the character page, here you're going to be able to see all the equipment that you currently have equipped. So your heads, your chest, your arms, your weapons, stuff like that, and then your artifacts as well. Now some people do get this confused. So you have artifacts, and then you have artifact equipment. So artifacts go down here. These will give you buffs. And then you have your artifact equipment, which is going to be your weapon sets, and then your neck and your belt. Those are artifact equipment. These can be upgraded using refinement points to make them more powerful. And then your artifacts down here does the same thing. You can use refinement points to increase them. Now you have a primary artifacts and then 3 secondary artifacts. You get your primary right off the bat at level, I believe it's 17. You get your first quest to do one, and then your secondaries you'll get at 50, 60, and level 70. Now your primary artifact is the one that you're going to be able to use for your equip power. So each artifact will have an equip power. So on this one, Sigil of the Devoted, where it says use on it, that is the equip power. So when you activate it, that will happen. Each artifact will have its own particular use ability, and the higher the ranking of the artifact, the shorter the cooldown time on using it. So, since I have the Sigil of the Devoted as my primary artifact, it appears here. It is on my number 3 key, and during combat or outside of combat, whenever I feel like it, I can hit 3 and activate my artifact. And it will give me, the current bonus is Devoted Cleric Spirit will fill you with divine power, granting you 100% of your total action points over 15 seconds. In addition, while this buff is active, you heal yourself for 3,243 hit points whenever you use an encounter power. Now, for you, if you're brand new and you haven't rearranged your HUD, your number 3 would actually be down here by your health bar. I rearranged my my HUD, but that's where yours would be located. So other than that, you also have your armor class, your current total hit points. These are your stat or your ability scores that you ended up putting in during character creation, and then you have all of the stats that you currently have. So this is going to tell you your current power, your critical strike, armor pen, stuff like that. And then it goes into more detail, giving you a percentage, so current crit chance, stuff like that. Now don't forget, while in combat, a lot of other things will proc to give you additional boosts, a lot of boons and stuff like that. You actually have to be in combat in order to get the advantage from them, and that will change your stats. So don't just count the stats by standing around. So that is the character page. Under history page, here you can add in for your biography, set a title, use alliance title, stuff like that. And you can also buy a rename token if you're not happy with your current name of your character. But there's not much more on this page. So on to powers. Here, you're going to slowly earn power points every time you level. You'll get 1 every time you level, all the way up to 70. And then once you hit 70, you start getting overflow rewards. And when you open up those, they have a chance to give you an additional power point. And you'll use these power points to slowly upgrade all your powers. And then you'll just select the ones that you want and add them into your bar down below. Next one is your feats tab. So on your feats tab, this is where you're going to be able to give yourself some feat points. You'll start collecting these. I believe it's at level 10 you start earning feat points per level. And then you can add them in to just give you some additional boosts. So increase your maximum hit points, your critical chance, stuff like that. Reduce your recharge time on your encounter power, stuff like that. Next is your boons. Boons are quite useful. So as you complete your campaigns, you'll use the campaign currencies to unlock new boons to give you more stats and advantages in combat and stuff like that. So make sure you have an idea of what you would like before you decide to unlock. You only get 1 out of the 2 options that are available, and then at the end you only get 1 out of the 4 options that are available. And that goes for all the campaigns, with the exception of Tyranny of Dragons, where this one you end up with 3 at the very end, and you can put them in any of the 4. And then on the new campaigns, you can put your skill points anywhere in here, and then 1 up there. And if you're in a guild, you also have these. So if your guild is high enough rank that they have boons, you can end up selecting any of the boons they have available to you. These ones you can switch at any time, not a problem, doesn't cost you anything. You can swap them as you see fit, where these other ones you actually have to either spend rough astral diamonds to retrain them, or sorry, not rough astral, actual astral diamonds to retrain them, or you can use a retrain token. Retrain tokens are available on the Zen market, as well as during certain events you might be able to pick one up, and during one of the campaigns you actually get one. Next tab is your companions tab. So here you're going to have all your companions. These are the current ones that you're going to have active, and then you're going to have one that you're going to have summoned to fight alongside you, and you can give them gear and rune stones as well. Just so you know, best ones are bondings. There's also the idle companions. So these are all the companions that you currently have that are not being used. You can buy additional slots to have more idle companions if you like. Choice is up to you. And at any point in time, you can swap them as you see fit, if you like. So your next page is your mount. So on the current page, you can select whichever mount you would like to be riding when you summon them. Each one has its own unique look and riding style. That's quite nice. If you get a legendary mount, you'll end up getting a combat power that you can activate during combat. So when in combat, all you have to do is press the number 7 key, and it will activate your mount combat power. While out of combat, if you hit the 7 key, you'll just summon your mount to ride on. And then once you get either epic or legendary mounts, you can start getting equip powers that will increase your stats or abilities. A whole bunch of different ones. Increase your armor, pen, health, lifesteal. Some of them are like when using a daily power grant, 15% of your total action points over 10 seconds, and stuff like that. And you can select whichever one you'd like to have as your current active one. And then as you get better mounts, you can increase their speed. So the uncommon and common ones, which are the white and the green ones for the outlines. So these are the green ones. That's a white one. These just have the standard speed, which I believe is 50%. Once you start getting into blue, you can start increasing your speed. So common track is 50. Then once you start getting the blue, which is the rare ones, you can increase your mount speed to 80%. Once you get epic, which is purple, you can increase your movement speed by 110%. And then once you get legendary mounts, you'll be able to increase your run speed by 140%. And then there's a special one for one of the events for during the Winter Festival. So that is the current page. So if we go over to stable, we have the all your active ability or active what do you call these insignia bonuses. So you can select whichever mount you like. Add in your insignias to give yourself some bonuses. So each mount will have a set amount of insignia that you can use for them. And that will give you different abilities. So you can have ones like your Summon Companion will increase your power and defense. When you control an enemy, you gain 5% combat advantage against them, or your Summon Companion does 20% more damage, stuff like that. And you'll be able to decide which ones you like. And then you also have your insignias themselves, which will also increase your stats. So this one gives me 8% glory, gold, and experience gain, as well as 800 maximum hit points. And then this one gives me 200 to deflection and 100 to AoE resist. And I just have a whole bunch. And at any point in time, you can swap them out of the stable and select a different one to take its place. So that is the character sheet. So next over here is your home page. Quick key is L. So this brings up the home page. Here it's going to tell you what's new, anything that's currently going on. So right now we have a you earn double gemstones event. So anytime you were supposed to earn only one gemstone, you actually earn two. Plus there is a trade bar discount. It changes by week. Well, I'll show you that in the calendar. There is the claim valuables, so during certain events you'll be able to get some valuable items and stuff that you can pick up here, as well as they do have promotional codes on occasion, and that can give you some free items as well. They also have some playing tips, which are quite useful. It will cover over the different things in nice detail for you. And then it will talk about upcoming events, so what's coming up in the calendar later on. And then a couple of things that takes you over to the Zen market that you would have to use Zen in order to buy. And the only way to get Zen is either by purchasing it yourself using real money, or if you get very lucky in the exchange and you end up being able to sell them. Astral Diamonds for Zen. So the next tab is your calendar tab. Calendar tab is very, very useful. So this tells you what's currently going on, and then hourly events that are coming up, as well as you can jump ahead to see what's on its way. So if you have a game plan set in store, like the ×2 refining stone event that I was talking about, I have been saving up for it for many, many, many weeks. Just getting ready for it so I can earn the maximum amount of refining stones possible for it. So always have a look at the calendar, see what's coming up. So we do have another event coming up here next week, the Masquerade of Liars, and then ×2 guild marks. And there's a bonus RP event coming up here, starting on the 31st. There's a ×2 experience starting on the 6th of November. And stuff like that. This just keeps keep it in the back of your mind to determine what you want to do and what you want to prepare for. So with the ×2 experience event, that'd be a great time to level up a character and stuff like that. And then you have a bunch of different tabs. These are the upcoming events. This is basically just a condensed version of the calendar. And then you have any reminders, so you can actually select some of these and click to set a reminder for you. Next is your queue. So here is where you join up with other people to run a whole bunch of different dungeons, skirmishes, trials. So these are the end game things to do. There's also some of the leveling dungeons as well that you're able to complete. And you can just add in people, invite them. You can set it up for public, so you don't even need to be with anyone. You can just select the particular dungeon you want, hit join selected queue, and it will team you up with other people. You can also select private, so only yourself or whoever you decide to have in your queue group will be the ones to run the current dungeon or anything like that. And then you can set up for private PvP as well. The choices are up to you. Next is your catalog. The catalog is a bunch of users that have created content for the game that you are more than welcome to try out. I have played a whole bunch of them. There's a lot of really good ones out there. I strongly recommend you check out some of these. Lots of fun to be had. So you can just select one, hit accept, and it will take you through a whole new little area that someone else has designed for the game, and it has a lot of them are excellent storylines. And then you have your leaderboard for your PvP stats. Now, I don't do PvP, so there's nothing here. But if you are into PvP, there is still some individuals that do PvP on the game. Strongly recommend you check it out and enjoy yourself doing it. So next, beside the homepage, is the Astral Diamond Exchange. So here is where you can use your Astral Diamonds to convert it into Zen, or use Zen and convert it into Astral Diamonds. And here you can buy Zen, here you can sell Zen for Astral Diamonds, and here will be your listing for whatever you're trying to convert. The one beside that is the Wondrous Bazaar. So here is a spot where you can use your Astral Diamonds to purchase things. So they got a whole bunch of different things, some marks of potency, some refinement, teleport scrolls, identify scrolls, and then under special you can pick up some companions, some mounts, and stuff like that. And then these are mainly for appearance changes, so if you don't like the look of your weapon, you can actually use it to change the appearance of your weapons, your armor, stuff like that, to give yourself a particular look. Beside that one is the Zen market, so if you have any Zen, here is where you can actually end up spending it, a bunch of different things. If you do end up getting Zen, I recommend going for VIP first. It is the most beneficial for you. But other than that, this is just a Zen market where you can purchase a variety of different things. Nothing is super game breaking. You can't buy like the best items or gear or mounts or anything in here. This is just simply a place that you can actually pick up a few decent things to help you along the way. It will just expedite your leveling process at best. Beside it is your collections page. So as you collect different items and companions, pets, stuff like that, it will start filling out on your companion or on your collections page, and you can cycle through to see what you've already collected, what you still haven't collected, stuff like that. There's no bonuses or anything for getting a whole collection of anything. It just adds into your total points and stuff. It doesn't do anything towards the game, but it is nice to know. Next is your quest journal. This is a very important one. So here you're going to have all your quests. So you're going to have different tabs that are going to tell you different quests that you currently have active. So you have your general tab, and then each particular area will have their own quests that will get sorted into them. So at my stronghold, I still have a whole bunch of quests I haven't done. And then Sea of Moving Ice, I got a couple quests there, and stuff like that. Now for quests, different ways of doing them. So if there was a particular quest I wanted to do, so say I want to do the Chilton Trials Daily, I would select it like that. Click on it and put the little arrow marker there. What that does is it's going to create that little shiny dotted line on the ground, which you can just faintly see right there on the ground. And it's going to lead me to that particular quest. And if you look over here where your quests, where most of your quests will appear, you'll see that Chilton Trials Daily is currently got that little marker beside it, telling me that's the one I'm currently following on the sparkly line, and it will lead me straight to it. And you can do that for any of your quests. And each time you click it, it will move it to the top of the list on the side over here, so you know what you're currently doing. You can also either add in a check mark, which is going to make it a high priority, which is going to force it to appear on the side over here. Or if you click it again, it would become an X. And what the X does is it hides it, so you won't see it. It won't appear on the side over here, and no dotted line will go to it. So you have a bunch of different options there. So this is your quest journal. Beside that is your professions. Now I'm not going to go in detail with professions, as in mod 15 they are changing big time. They're completely being reworked from the ground up, so we won't talk about professions. We'll just skip over that for now. Next is your social. So in your social, you can have a look, see who all your friends currently are online, if you have any people that you currently have ignored. If you have a party, you can set up your loot mode and thresholds and stuff like that for looting. So when you find items on the ground and you pick them up, you can set it up so people can choose if they need it or not, or you can have it like a free-for-all where it just rolls for everyone, and people, depending on the role, will be the ones who receive it. You can go to Find Party to find people who are currently looking for a party. Then there's Find Person. So if you know there's a buddy of yours that is currently playing and you'd like to join with them, just type in either their character name or their handle, and you'll be able to find them here. And from there you'll be able to right-click on their name, invite them to party. You can inspect them, invite them to your queue group. You can send them a private message. You can add as friend. You can report them or ignore them, etc., etc. And then there's also the Find Guild. So if you're looking to join a guild, I recommend that you definitely look into it. Strongly recommend. Lots of fun to be had in guild, especially in a very active one. This is a great place to have a look, as well as in chat. A lot of people put up that they have spots available in their guild. Always have a look. So that was your social tab. Next is your guild. So in your guild, a bunch of different things. It will tell you currently what's going on, different entries that have happened. You can have a look at your coffers for activity. If there's any activity going on with guild members, so if somebody's leveled up and stuff like that, and then vault records if anything has been added into the vault or removed. This will cover over your stronghold, so everything that you currently have built in your stronghold, which is your guild. These are events that the guild can put up to let you know that things are going to be happening. So like we have on October 20th, there's going to be Stronghold Heroic Encounters. And people can choose to accept, maybe, or not join at all. And choice is completely up to you. Then there is the roster, which tells you all the current people that are currently online. You can also select to show offline players, if you so choose. Next tab is the information tab. So this is where your guild will write down, description of the guild, what is acceptable, not acceptable, stuff like that. Then it is the settings. Here you can end up being set to a particular ranking in your guild, and each ranking will give you different permissions to be able to do different things in the guild. And then finally is your alliance tab. So you can be part of an alliance, which is just multiple guilds working together to help each other out. That was your guild page. So after that is your mail page. So mail is just standard mail. So whenever you receive a message, you can click on it, read it, see what it says. If there is any items to be picked up, you do have to go either to a postal carrier or a mailbox in order to receive the items. There's many mailboxes spread out throughout Protector's Enclave that you can go to. As for compose, you can send a mail anytime, not a problem. But again, if you want to send any items, you need to be near a mailbox and stuff like that. And then if you're in a guild, you can compose a guild-wide message to everyone. Besides the mail is the auction house. So here you can end up selling or buying a variety of different items. So if you are playing through Neverwinter and you end up getting a really decent item, but you don't really need it or you don't want it, you can always throw it up on the auction house to try to sell it for actual diamonds. Or if you're looking for a particular item and you really want it, you can end up buying it on the auction house. If you buy anything on the auction house, it immediately goes to your mailbox. All you have to do is find a mailbox and collect the item that way. So here you can be able to search for anything that you want. Under this tab, you can add in any item you want to sell, and then start a bidding price or a buyout price and how long you would like to have it up on the auction house for. And then if you have any current bids on the go for any items, they will be recorded here. After that one is your campaigns and deeds. So this is where all your campaigns are going to be, and it's going to show you your progressions through each of the campaigns and what your current currencies are for that campaign. And as you work your way through, each thing is going to require a certain amount of campaign currency in order to advance through the campaign. Then you have game support. This is just going to give you a whole bunch of different things. It will show you some tips. If you need some help, you can always go request GM help to help you out. If you have any questions, stuff like that, you can create a report a bug, stuff like that if you notice anything. And you can also view any tickets you currently have on the go with the game. The last one is the game menu. So game menu is basically all you have to do is hit escape and it will come up. So here you can rearrange your HUD like I have done. You can rearrange it so it would set up how you like to see it. You have options. Options are going to allow you to change different aspects of the game. So your audio, display, graphics, interface, any key bindings you want to change, stuff like that. Help, which is the exact same thing that we were just looking at here under game support. This brings up that tab. You can go to change character, so you can go to character page and select a different character to play if you so choose. There's the logout option and then the exit option, which completely exits you out of the game, and then the return to game. So now over here you have a couple of different things. So right here says Hall of Justice. So this is basically telling you exactly where you are. So right now I am at the Hall of Justice in Protector's Enclave. Here is the mini map that will show you where you are. If you want to see more, you can zoom out or zoom in as you see fit, or you can hit M on your keyboard, which brings up the overall map. So I'm up over here, and this shows me all of Protector's Enclave right now, because that's where I'm at. Or if you don't want to press M, there's also this little kind of star shape over here. That's called World Map. If you click on that, it will also bring up the world map. Besides that is the Instance tab. So if you select this, it'll come up with the different instances of Protector's Enclave. So currently I am in number 6. What instances are different? It's the exact same map, but different versions of it. And what it does is it just allows a certain number of people on an instant to help with latency. So you're not constantly lagging and it's not running smoothly for you. So they reduce it so only a certain number of people can be on a particular instance. And that helps big time with latency and stuff like that. Makes the game far more enjoyable. And at any point in time, you can change to a different instance. Just select it, and as long as it's not full, you can hit transfer, and it will transfer you straight to it. Up here at level 11, you'll be able to start invoking. So all you have to do is go to any campfire, and then you can either hit Control I to invoke, or just click on it up here, and you'll invoke. Invoking will give you a variety of different things. It'll add in some experience points, give you some bonus rough astral diamonds. So as you earn rough astral diamonds, you'll earn more. You can get celestial bags of refining, which will have a refining stone in them, and possibly even a coupon for a discount off the Zen store. It will give you some bonus experience points. So it will, so you'll earn experience a little bit faster, and you'll also get a blessing that you can activate to give yourself a boost. Beside that is the store that you can use. So when you invoke on the first time you invoke, you'll get a celestial coin, and then the first time you invoke every day, you'll also get an Ardent coin. Ardent coins can be used to purchase a variety of different things in the store here, and then your celestial coins, you can purchase a whole bunch of different things here. I recommend always saving up for 11 and picking up the coffer of celestial artifacts as one of the best things you can get. And this also tells you how many of the celestial coins you currently have. You got 2 out of 14. You can only have 14 at a time. If you hit 14 and try to invoke to get another one, it will tell you to spend your celestial coins first. So don't worry, you won't lose any. Here, these will tell you what's currently ongoing. So if you remember from the calendar that I showed you before, this would just tells you the certain events that are ongoing in Neverwinter right now. So you got Stronghold Marauders, you got a Domination PvP going on, and a Traveling Wizard, which will be starting in 1 hour and 11 minutes. This is just your current time of your current location. Here, this will show you the current events ongoing. So we got the trade bar discount, as well as the ×2 refining stone. And it tells you how many days, hours, and minutes left for the event. Below that is the list of all your current quests that you have active from your quest journal. And they will appear here. You can only have so many here. If you have more than like 10 or 12 or something, they're not all going to appear here, but as you complete them, they'll get removed and new ones will take their place. Down the bottom here, you have your inventory. So when you open that up, quick key is I. This brings up your inventory where you're going to be able to store a whole bunch of different items and stuff. Then you have a whole bunch of different tabs for it. You have your wealth tab, so this is going to bring up all your different currencies. So your gold, your Zen, and glory, guild marks, retraining tokens, everything like that. And then you have your event currencies, other currencies, stuff like that. There's a lot on this page. But the big one you want to take away from this is your rough astral diamonds and astral diamonds. So every account can refine 100,000 rough astral diamonds a day. So make sure if you earn any rough astral diamonds to refine them to try to hit your cap every day to turn them into actual astral diamonds so you can actually use them and spend them. Your next tab is your useful items, where most of your keys are going to end up. If you have a boat or a fishing rod or anything like that, that will also appear in here. After that is your professions and asset resources, so any resources that you've collected from playing the game or from professions. You got two different tabs down here. So you got the resource tab, and then your assets are all your workers that will, and their items to make items for you. After that is your fashions tab. So this will add in fashion items if you so choose. You can adjust how your character looks, etc., etc. And the last one we won't worry about, as it has to do with VIP. On the very bottom here is your experience bar. So as you progress through the game, you're going to earn experience, everything from killing enemies, completing quests, stuff like that. So as you level up, this bar will progress all the way across to the very end. Then you'll hit the next level. Once you hit 70, the bar will turn blue. As you're leveling, it's purple. And then as you level up, you'll get overflow rewards. So when you level up, another box will appear. You can click it open to get additional rewards. Now there's two different colors on the bar that you can see. You have a bright blue and a very light, almost see-through blue. The solid blue is the current experience that you have. The lighter blue is the experience bonus. So this is every time you earn experience, you'll get a little bit extra from this. So next, we have our abilities and items and stuff that we're going to be able to use. So for most people, these two and these three right here are all down along the side here, but we'll cover them over anyway. So again, this is your artifact. So your primary artifact, you'll be able to use the equip power for it. Number 7 is your mount. So you'll be able to summon your mount while out of combat, while in combat. If you have a mount power or mount combat power equipped, you'll be able to use that. Beside that is your 2 dailies. So the hotkeys for that are 1 and 2. In the middle, you have your action points. So as you earn action points, you need this bar to be completely full with yellow to be able to activate your daily powers. Each character will earn action points differently. For a paladin, it is using my abilities and taking damage. Above that, you'll see a little green bar. That's our stamina. So stamina is used when we're holding up our shield for a paladin, or for other characters, it's for shifting, moving, running, stuff like that. Next is your health potions and bonuses. So these are a bunch of different ways of giving yourself some life. So using health potions, and there's also a couple of different things that you can use as buffs to give yourself a little extra oomph on the battlefield, stuff like that. Then for your tab key, each character will have their own unique abilities. For Paladin, we use it to generate threat. So enemies will attack us, and it will also reduce the cooldowns of our encounter power, stuff like that. Beside that is your 2 passives. These are the auras for Paladin. So under here we have our auras. These are called class features. Every class will have their own class features to pick from, and you can have 2 active at a time. And then beside that is your encounter powers. These ones are on cooldown, so when you activate them, they go onto a cooldown. So you can't constantly spam them, but their cooldowns are usually pretty low. And you can have 3 of those active at a time. And then beside that is your at-wills. These are the ones that you can use anytime, anywhere, no matter what. You can just hold it down and you just beat on the enemy or heal or whatever it is that the at-will does. There's no cooldown on it. You don't need any action points or anything like that. You just straight up do them. And then below that is your health bar. Your health bar is usually red. As you lose health, you'll watch the red go down as per usual. Anything that is yellow is temporary hit points, which is basically just a temporary health on top of your health to allow you to take damage without actually affecting your overall health. If it is blue, it is considered a shield. And what that does is just something to absorb damage, just like temporary hit points. It will take in that damage and reduce itself as it takes that damage. It's just a way so you don't end up losing health points. And besides that is the in-game chat. So here is a bunch of different ways of communicating with people, finding out what's going on, finding people to join up with, to run dungeons, etc., etc. A whole bunch of different ways. You can make it as small or as big as you want by adjusting its size. You can select whichever channel you like to be in. You can edit it so you can change the colors of what you're seeing. You can change what you're seeing for your current tabs. So if you don't want to see what's going on with combat, you can turn that all off and stuff like that. You can create your own custom channels or join custom channels and stuff like that. So that's your overall chat. It's very useful. You won't really need it so much while running from 1 to 70 for leveling. But once you start running endgame dungeons, you're going to want to start using chat to try to find people or to see if somebody's looking for your particular class to run with. And you'll just message them, hey, you're looking for an OP, I'm an OP, hit me up. And that is the HUD. Hopefully that has been helpful.